Today we're going to do 4 yoga poses for tight hips. You might need a block or a folded blanket for extra support or padding underneath your knees in today's class. Let's go ahead and start by resting back. Okay, so let's just start by transitioning from what's come before to being present to what's here now, feeling the support of the earth underneath us. Feeling your body, noticing how your body feels today. And connecting with your breathing, letting your belly be soft, feeling your abdominal wall drop back as you breathe out, feeling your whole pelvis sink down as you breathe out, feeling your abdominal wall expand as you breathe in. I'm starting to sense and feel the structure of the pelvis and your leg bones, femur bone, the top of the ball and socket joint at the top of the hips, top of the leg bone, sinking and dropping with gravity here. So we'll begin with keyhole stretch. You're going to cross your left ankle over the top of your right thigh. Open your left knee out to the side. Draw your right knee into your chest. You can hold on behind your knee if you have any knee issues, or you can hold on your shin if you don't. Use your left elbow to open your knee up. You want to feel the sensation in the outside of your left thigh and into your left buttocks. Let your shoulders stay relaxed. You're going to slowly lower this leg down. And you can even turn this into a twist by taking your arms out to the side, press into your right foot, and lower your left foot down to the side. So you get a little twist here too. You probably feel that more on the outside of your hip, but we're also just giving your spine some movement as well in this class. Otherwise, it would just be all straight movement for your spine in this class. And you're going to bring your legs back to the center, press into your right foot, untuck your hips, and we'll go ahead and do this on the other side. So cross your right ankle over the top of your left thigh. Draw your left leg in, and if you have knee issues, you're going to hold on behind your left knee. If not, you can hold on your left shin. You can use your right elbow to open up your right knee. Let your shoulders stay relaxed. Again, you want to feel the sensation in the outside of your right hip and into your right glutes. Then you can lower your left foot down. Press into your left foot. Lift your hips, lower them over to the right side, and lower your right foot to the ground. So you get a little bit of rotation in your spine, and you'll feel that in the outside of your right hip as well. And then come back to the center, untuck your hips, and uncross your legs, and just let your spine unravel here. We are going to roll back to our side. We're going to come up for Pigeon Pose. So for Pigeon Pose, you're going to start on all fours, and you're going to bring your right knee forward to your right wrist. And two options here. You can have your back leg bent, especially if you have knee issues. This can take a lot of pressure off your front leg. Or you can reach your left leg back and long. Now, if there's space underneath the right glute here, this is what our block's for. So you can fill that space and then fold forward here. And then you're going to slowly come up. And we're going to switch legs. And you're going to take your left knee forward, reach your right leg back and long, or you can have the legs bent, especially if you have knee issues, and fold forward here. It just creates a little bit more slack. And also, if you have your right leg long and there's space, then this is what the block is for. Fill the space and fold forward here. Okay, so you're going to release this pose. And the next pose is going to be lunge pose. So if you're on a hard surface like a hardwood floor, you can put some extra padding underneath your knees by doubling up your mat or putting a blanket underneath your knees. And then you're going to walk your left foot through. You want to feel an opening in the front of the right hip here. And you're going to come upright here. Let the tailbone drop. Feel that opening here. You can even take your right arm up and side bend to open up more. You'll get really right into that psoas there. And we're going to release that side. And you're going to go ahead and walk your right leg through. Sink down through your front right foot, coming upright, really dropping that right sit bone, opening up through the left hip, reaching that left arm up, and side bending here will really open up the hip and the psoas more. Okay, and then we're going to release that. And we're going to do some cow's face legs. So you can stretch out your mat again. Okay, for this one, it may be enough for you to sit cross-legged and lean forward. And if that's giving you a good stretch through your hips, especially if you have knee issues, this could be enough for you. Okay. You could also cross your left leg over your right leg. And your hips, you might notice, are really nice and warmed up for this well prepared after all those hip openers. But if it feels like you want to fill the space, if there's a lot of space, you're really lifted up on one side, you could always add a block and see if that makes it more ease. Like you'll notice my knees really lined up, but then I actually lost all the resistance in the pose. So for me, that's not going to be a great fit. I'm going to release the block, Probably something in between would be better for me, maybe a little blanket. But see what works for you. And what you want is resistance in that left hip there, but nothing in the knee. And you want to stay long through the spine. You may want to lean forward. You may not need to lean forward. So just see what works for you in this pose. You definitely don't want to overdo it in this pose because you will feel it in your knees the next day, which you don't want. Because if it's not ready for the hips, it'll go to the next weakest joint. We're going to release this side and we'll switch. So if you're doing the cross-legged version, you'll have your right leg crossed in front of the other and you'll fold forward from here. And you want to feel that stretch in the outside of the left hip and into the left glute. Sorry, right. I'm mirroring you. Or you can cross your right leg over your left. And here again, if this knee is really high or if there's space here, you can always sit up on the block. That will help. So see what works best for you in your body. You want to feel sensation in the right glute, the right hip, but you don't want to feel it in your knee. And you want these knees to be somewhat stacked. And if you need more resistance, you can fold forward, stay long through your spine. Okay, and then we're going to come up and we'll release this pose from your body. And we'll go ahead and we'll rest back in the same way as we did at the beginning so you can feel the difference in your tight hips from beginning to end. Okay, so you can continue to rest back here to receive your practice. I will sit up and read you a poem. This poem is called Submerged City by Adam Zagajewski, and I always put the poem in the author in the show notes, as well as lots of other things, so you can always check that out there. It's translated by Clara Kavanaugh. That city will be no more. No halos of spring mornings when green hills tremble in the midst and rise like barrage balloons. And May won't cross its streets with shrieking birds and summer promises. No breathless spells, no chilly ecstasies of spring water. Church towers rest on ocean's floors, and flawless views of leafy avenues fix no one's eyes. And still we live on calmly, humbly, from suitcases, in waiting rooms, on airplanes, trains, and still, stubbornly, blindly, we seek the image, the final form of things, between inexplicable fits of mute despair, as if vaguely remembering something that cannot be recalled. As if that submerged city were traveling with us, always asking questions, and always unhappy with our answers, exacting and perfect in its own way. So I want to acknowledge you for taking the time to attend to your tight hips today as you begin to wiggle and stretch out and deepen your breath. You can bend your knees, roll to your side, make your way up to seated. We'll gather the fruits of our practice first into ourself and then offer them out into the world. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free. May the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to the happiness and freedom for all. So if you like today's class, thank you so much for giving it a like. And put I'm resting on the ocean floor in the comments. Thank you so much for subscribing and for sharing this with your friends. And I have a gift for you today. If you go to melissawest.com/hips, I'll send you my 9 best yoga classes for hips. And thank you so much to all of you who support our yoga with your donations, with your gifts on my Amazon gift wish list. And for those of you that are members, all of that supports us in being able to make this our full-time living here, in being able to offer you guys free yoga for the last almost 12 years. So we really appreciate that. And I'm sending you much love from beautiful British Columbia. May your joy be as deep as our ocean. May you be as rooted as the old growth trees in our forest. May you be as strong as our mountains. Much love and many blessings.